Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Well, today I want to talk about the power of Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. I'm going to give you some deep-seated thoughts on how these three outer planets truly work for you. And I want to inform you that I'm going to be giving a weekend workshop on these three incredible planets and how they affect you personally, and of course, how they create the major transitions and changes in the world. So these three outer planets are transpersonal. They don't affect you unless they affect the whole masses of generations and the world. They are truly amazing. So here's what I want you to know. If you are really interested in learning more about these three outer planets, take my workshop. My workshop is going to be September 10th through the 11th. And the way that you can sign up for it, it's the Saturday and a Sunday, that weekend. Reserve that weekend, because we're going to go deep into everything to do with these outer planets. It's going to start at 12:30 and it's going to end probably around 5:30. We'll probably go to the point where we're going to be taking a lot of questions and answers. So you will be able to talk to me and we can get in deep and really answer all your questions. I'm going to be there live to answer any question about how these three planets affect the world and you. But let me tell you a little bit about them. So go to my website, galacticcenter.org, and sign up for this 2-day workshop, September 10th and 11th. But let me give you a little information about how I process these three planets. And of course, I have 3 books on them. Pluto, Control, Power, Surrender, and Rebirth. My Neptune book is Secrets, Illusions, and Scandals. And my Uranus book, which is Radical Changes and Awakenings. Now, let me tell you a little bit about this so you know what all of this is truly going to teach you and what you're going to learn about. I have found that the outer planets, that they affect us all on a subconscious level. So they affect everyone, the masses, and therefore these three planets are so relative in world events. When they aspect one another, they create different massive changes worldwide, different eras, such as the entire 60s when we had Pluto conjunct Uranus. Pluto is major transformation and Uranus is sudden, unexpected change and rebellions. And we had all the crises in the 1960s with assassinations, with the Vietnam War, with the whole drug era that started up. I mean, people were rebelling. And even the racial crises in the United States and around the world. It was a heavy time. And that whole era was really prompted by the Uranus-Pluto conjunction. Now, when these outer planets shift signs, they can stay in a sign for a really long time, such as Uranus stays in a sign for 7 years, Neptune around 12 years, and Pluto, depending on its elliptical orbit, can stay in a sign a lot longer, anywhere between 12 years and 30 years. And coming up as Pluto right now, sidereally in Vedic astrology, just shifted to the sign of Capricorn not that long ago. It's going to be there for 20 years. Now, let me remind you something about my workshop. Even if you're a Western astrologer, you will get an enormous amount out of this because you're going to learn better how to use these planets, because I'm going to give you everything that these planets are about. And some things I know you may not know, but it's going to be so much fun to learn about. But continuing on, they rule generations since they stay in a sign for so long. So you're going to find that Those born with Uranus in a particular sign, the way that they approach the world is completely different than the other group that was born in that 7-year cycle. You see, and the 12-year cycle of Neptune and the Pluto cycle, that is transformative. And let me tell you a little something else about these planets. When they were discovered, it brought in whatever that planet was about into the world's awareness, such as when Uranus was discovered, it brought in the whole technological revolution of using machines instead of people. So this changed the world in that respect. Neptune, when it was discovered, it brought in photography and silent movies, because Neptune really rules things that appear real but are not. It's photography and movies. Pluto, when it was discovered in the 30s, brought atomic energy. But at that time Pluto was discovered, everything about Pluto, the negative side of Pluto, was seriously going on, which it brought atomic energy, and of course that came around World War II. And then again, we had the dictatorship going on with Hitler and Stalin and Mussolini, and that all came. Even gangsters at that time were prevalent. But that was this Pluto discovery that brought that to the forefront. We started to see it for what it was. These outer planets are spectacular, and what you're going to find, especially in this class with all of the examples I'm going to be using, is that anyone that has an outer planet tightly conjunct one of their personal planets has a very important mission in life. And I have found that in some way, if you have an outer planet conjunct a personal planet within a very tight degree range, and the tighter the more intense, okay? You will be remembered. You will leave a legacy of something in your life when you're no longer here. It's very important. I've seen this with everyone and in the examples. And historically, when these outer planets change signs, or when they come together with one another, they created the biggest, most amazing trends ever, such as around the mid-90s when Neptune and Uranus came together. That was bringing technology, Uranus is technology, by the way, to the forefront, with Neptune, the things that we can't see. And technology started to take over. By the mid-90s, everybody started having a cell phone. And what the generation that were born in the mid-90s are going to really be exposed to is probably virtual reality. Why? Because Uranus is technology and computers and phones and the internet and everything to do with computers. And Neptune is the illusion, virtual reality brought through computers. And we're even looking at the metaverse now with Facebook. This is the future. And this is what was actually predicted with the Uranus-Neptune conjunction. There is so much to learn about these outer planets and what they're bringing to the world in terms of the awakenings and the new trends. And another interesting scenario is Pluto. Pluto is the planet that when it aspects your personal planets, you will go through one of the most gut-wrenching transformations in your life. But what is actually happening with Pluto is it always eliminates, let's say transiting Pluto is sitting on your natal sun. And when I talk about the transits, which I'm going to fill everyone in this workshop, it's when a planet in the heavens comes to a degree mark that a planet was when you were born. When that happens, we have Pluto conjunct, maybe it's your sun, your moon, whatever personal planet in your chart it conjuncts. Pluto always eliminates that which is not growth producing in your life. But at the time, you think it's essential and you've got to have it. But it has to be eliminated. And as it is gut-wrenching. You feel like it is the worst thing you'll ever go through in your life. But let me reassure you, 2 years later, you'll look back and you'll say, thank God that happened, because I couldn't be where I am or who I am without that transition, without that transformation. That's the beauty of Pluto. It is transformative. Neptune, on the other hand, you better be certain about what you're seeing, because Neptune can disguise and it can disrupt and it can be very fuzzy and cloudy and you can't see the truth. I always say Neptune is like a spell's been cast over you. You think something's a certain way till the Neptune transit moves away. Then all of a sudden, the spell's lifted and you think, what the hell was I thinking? Because then you can see it for what it truly is. So we've got to be careful of the Neptune transits. I'm telling you, I have helped many people avert great problems through seeing Neptune's transit over their natal planets. I know for myself, I've averted great problems by seeing that. Uranus. Uranus is the planet of unexpected, sudden changes. And it does make for visionaries. Some of the people's charts we're going to be looking at are the visionaries of our future. One is actually Benjamin Franklin, one of the forefathers of the United States of America. Did you know that he actually invented bifocals where people can start seeing again with glasses? Did you know that Benjamin Franklin worked with electricity and was one of the forefathers to bring electricity into the world? He had Uranus tight in his chart. You're going to find all these people that created and changed the world forever through the outer planets' placements in their chart, and will be remembered forever when they have the outer planets close to a personal planet in the birth chart. And of course, the world changes because of them. They leave their mark on the world. And we're going to look at some charts that are going to blow your mind in this class. So I just wanted to give you a little tidbit of some of the fabulous things we're going to be discussing in this all-weekend workshop. So everything to do with astrology, if you're interested in astrology, drop everything, clear the decks for that weekend. And we're going to go as deep as possible to understand exactly what the outer planets are here to tell us about ourselves and the world, and will never be forgotten. So with that, I'd like to close. Remember, go to my website, galacticcenter.org. Sign up for this all-weekend workshop. I am very, very, very excited to present all of my new findings to you this weekend. It's never been before. New excerpts that I have come up with, new ideas, and we will be sharing at the end of each day your ideas, your thoughts, and your questions. So with that, I'd like to close, and I will see you September 10th and the 11th. Thank you.